I have with me today a very distinguished consultant who has the unique distinction of having imposed penalty as an adjudicating authority, defended penalty imposed by commissioners and others in the SESTAT, and is now vigorously contesting penalty as a consultant. In this budget, the government says it has tried to rationalize the penal provisions. Let's find out from Radha Arun, a former IRS officer, as to what this rationalization is all about. Maybe I should start with asking her, or maybe that should be the thing that we end this with. Should an SSC pay the penalty before the show cause notice, after the show cause notice, but before adjudication, after adjudication, or try his luck right up to the Supreme Court? Welcome, Radha.
Yeah, thanks, Vijay. You've started by asking me for a legal opinion, right? Now,
I'm not going to pay you for that.
In fact, till now, I was advising the SSC in service tax not to pay the dues with 25% penalty as pressurized by the audit groups, because the penal provisions were such that the penalty was capped at 25% up to 30 days after the receipt of the adjudication order. Therefore, the SSC had no incentive really to pay that penalty before issue of notice. Now, part of the rationalization is that this has been changed. Now there is a clear incentivization for early payment of disputed dues with interest along with penalty in evasion cases. There is also a clear distinction now between the treatment of evasion cases and non-evasion cases. Earlier in service tax, section 76 covered non-evasion cases and the penalty was capped at 50% even for those. Capped meaning that was the maximum penalty, and if the SSC fell within those parameters in terms of value, age of demand, etc., the adjudicating authority had no option but to levy that penalty. It was mandatory. But in evasion cases also, there was a cap of 50% if those details of the transactions were available in the records of the SSC. This was highly irrational. This particular clause of 50% cap for evasion cases where details are available in records has been thankfully deleted. Now all evasion cases are treated at par. However, the rights of those offenders whose offence pertains to the period before the amendment to have this cap of 50% has been protected by section 78B. Other than that, I find it a very welcome provision that in customs, excise and service tax, the penalty for non-evasion cases is capped at 10%, the maximum penalty. There is across the board, there is a part of the overall push for compliance which we see now is there is incentivization of early payment of dues even after issue of show cause notice. In non-evasion cases, if the dues are paid with interest, there is no penalty up to 30 days of the show cause notice. So this threat that used to be held out to the SSC that you pay up, otherwise we will issue show cause notice, because when the show cause notice is issued, immediately it gets issued as an evasion case, we all know it, and immediately the penalty goes up to a minimum of 25%. So these pressures will not be there. An SSC can consider the matter, decide what are his chances, pay his dues with interest up to 30 days of even issue of notice. He has the advantage then of seeing what is the case of the department. He can see the notice and see what is the case of the department, where do I stand, maybe pay up, maybe wait till the notice is adjudicated. Even after adjudication, he has the option of paying all the dues with interest and 25% of the penalty. Now we must remember that if it's a non-evasion case, the penalty is capped at 10%. So this 25% is 25% of 10%, and it is a definite incentive for compliance. I think these are welcome provisions insofar as rationalization are concerned.
This is the first time I am hearing somebody saying penal provisions are welcome.
We cannot wish away the penalty and taxes. As you said right at the outset, what is a tax without penalty? And you know, if you violate a law, then there will be a penalty. But my slight concern remains about these amendments on two counts. And both these things read together, in fact. One is that section 80, which provided for no penalty at all in cases of reasonable cause for non-payment, has been done away with. You might say that now all these incentives having been given for you know, early payment and no penalty, you don't need section 80. However, there is another thing that has been done away with, that is, there was an extended period up to 90 days for the small service provider to make these payments and avail of the benefits of the, you know, no penalty or lower penalty. This has been done away with. I feel that the small service provider still needs that safety net, and either section 80 should be there for him or this extended period should be available for him. With this caveat, all in all, I welcome these restructured penalty provisions.
But don't you think penalty should be at the discretion of the officer imposing penalty? Should it be mandatory?
In practice, I think you will, if you give discretion to an officer, the tendency would be to impose a higher penalty rather than a lower penalty.
So anyway, you end up paying the same thing.
So you are probably paying a lower thing here than you would have had you left it, because as you said at the outset, the revenue officer, now having sat in that seat as you pointed out, I know the constraints of the person adjudicating. He is under heavy pressure to say why he is not, you know, being more harsh to the SSC than he's already been being. So it is good to give him that, you know, give the officer also that safety net of a mandatory cap.
So do you think these penal provisions have been really rationalized, or do you think something more has to be done on that?
I'm sure nothing is perfect, and if one applies one's mind, one can make suggestions for refinement, but they are good.
Thank you, Radha. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Especially to know that you welcome the rationalized penal provisions.